Hello and welcome back. This is my second video on Captain Morgan's attack on Panama City. In the last one, we just did a quick run through of how it actually happened, the best way I could represent it using the Age of Empires 3 game. In this video, I made some slight adjustments and will cover how I believe the Spanish could have won this battle with the resources they had available to them. My logic for the adjustments are as follows. The Spanish knew about a week in advance when the pirates would arrive, meaning they received word that they were beginning their march across Central America, so they knew they had roughly about a week's time. A week's time with several thousand able-bodied men should be able to build a relatively sturdy earthbound wall. Hence why we have this here. Next, the hill. The hill is a very strong strategic point, as the enemy would have to fight uphill against men who are dug in. See, if infantry can keep men at bay, that would leave musketmen and artillery able to fire down upon them, and with a hill vantage point, they can hit further out. Also, the men are currently deployed. These are guarding the infantry from wall so they can't be outflanked by the pirates. But the main position is here, on top of the hill, where Don Juan is with the cannons, which are not in the city this time. They are actually being used in the battle. And then we have reserves. Not only do we have infantry that can come in, fill in positions, and even somewhat outflank, but we have cavalry, which can do quick maneuvering and outflanking, and do hit-and-run tactics to disrupt formations. I personally believe this is how the Spanish could have easily pushed back the pirates. I have not yet tested this, I just set this up, but my logic seems to make sense to me anyway. See, with more or less splitting the army into two fronts, the pirates who have fewer numbers have to diverge their resources. They can't all push towards here, otherwise they'll be outflanked by the men on the hill, on top of being fired down upon. If they push just for the hill, they'll be overwhelmed by the reserves here who can just sweep around and obliterate them. So by dividing the few numbered pirates, they increase their chances of victory dramatically, or at least I believe they would. See, I believe pirates' first move would be to try to isolate or distract the men here so as the reserves won't be able to outmaneuver anyone. Next, they try to rush the hill and try and take out those cannons and the musketmen. The pirates have a little bit of reserves here. Yeah, there goes frame rates again. Spanish. Jeez. Quickly send out some reserves. See, the artillery is hard hitting. Has the splash damage to units around it, on top of doing a major kill. things starting to look hairy again, just pull out more reserves. Another major component to this that I can't really account for is that the men will not break here. Like, that's just not in the game's AI. But sadly, the men who actually... Oh. Jesus, Spanish seem to actually have lost the hill. Well, in fairness, now I got 2. Redivert. Oh. It appears I might have been mistaking. It appears they could not have one, because the Spanish, or the pirates, still have reserves here. They actually... looks like they might have even lost fewer numbers this time. Yeah, even with all the men fighting to the death, the pirates still just flat out obliterate the Spanish defenders. It's interesting. And like that, the entire Spanish defense army has been wiped out. Not only that, but it also looks like the pirates still have a huge amount of reserves left. There are still some defenders in the city, but most of the fighting forces would be out on the field, as what actually happened at the battle. It would appear, at least just from my very brief analysis, is that regardless of how it could have been done, or what measures could have been taken, the pirates would have won this battle regardless. They were too trained and are too well equipped, as opposed to the militia, who are undertrained and under-equipped. It appears that the only way this could have been averted is if the Spanish could obtain properly trained soldiers, possibly even greater artillery that could have been pulled from the forts in the city. But from just what I've seen, it appears it could have been impossible to hold off the pirates, even with their vast superior numbers, because the defenders were literally just farmers and local village people that were just handed either a musket or a sword or a spear and told to fight. They had little to no training in it. Still can't believe how overwhelming that was. But yes, it would appear that I was incorrect and that the Spanish could have won that battle. From my scenario, which is definitely not accurate to any strong degree, just a very rough sketch of actual events, it would appear to me that the Spanish could not have won that battle, because they still have reserves. Yes, that was a completely one-sided battle. Thank you for watching.